America is back. And we are just getting started. The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed. The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation, we must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
That members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant-at-arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. He couldn't behave himself. It's quite shameful. I'm sure his constituents are not proud of that tonight.
It was his fifth State of the Union, and he delivered a message of strength and vigor and vision and proved that we can have peace through strength, and America is back.
Yeah. You know, Congresswoman, let me play a clip from CNN, because I actually think the Democrats' antics actually helped President Trump and our cause to try to recruit everyday Americans into this party that we love so much. Here's CNN. Listen to this. Cut 12.
During the course of the event, which is wanting to get reaction on Congressman Al Green's antics and being ejected. 80% of speech watchers said that the Democratic congressman's interrupting of Trump's speech was inappropriate. Only 20% of speech watchers thought what Green did was appropriate, Aaron.
You know, Congresswoman, it's interesting because we talk about 80-20 issues all the time and how the Democrats are on the wrong side. Just so happens that was 80-22 last night.
Yes, it was. And it was absolutely egregious. And even you had some folks on the left trying to come out early and defend this behavior and compare it to an image of Marjorie Taylor Greene and myself, who were chanting "Build the Wall," while all other Republicans were chanting the same phrase. And they just got that one image and acted like we completely disrupted the State of the Union. But Al Green was given multiple opportunities to stand down, to sit down, to behave, to show decorum, and he did not. I don't think it's unusual for a line or two to be shouted out. Heck, I was shouting out lines last night, but they were certainly in support of President Trump. And for him to go and shake his pimp cane at President Trump was absolutely abhorrent. And it's showing even with Democrat voters. When CNN says you were on the 20% side of the 80-20 issue, then you have a problem.
But our ability to express those differing policy views depends on the preservation of democracy. It depends on making sure that the American people trust that all of us will ultimately, at the end of the day, defend this institution above all else, defend this Constitution above all else. And I agree with you that that defense is partisan in this moment. I wish it wasn't.
And I'll tell you, it was demonstrated last night with, I can't tell you how many times I had to get up and down to cheer from what President Trump was saying, but to look over at those Democrats sitting on their hands, scowling, even when they're touting the joy of a child who had brain cancer, talking about what's going on with that young man who went to West Point, could not get a single Democrat to stand up and cheer.
$1.6 million of federal funding has already left our university, funds that positively impact the success of our students. At Chicago State University, we serve the community, particularly students that are economically disadvantaged, students that are the first in their families to go to college, students that are also economically disadvantaged. 61% of the students at Chicago State University are first generation, and 78% of our students are eligible for Pell Grants.
The Office for Civil Rights at the Department of Education is, as Ms. Cohab has said as well, one of the avenues for students to actually bring discrimination cases to a head. I think that this office is absolutely critical in being able to do real investigations on what is happening on campus and actually working with school administrators to actually come to a equitable outcome for that.
I'll simply assert, if I might, that from my view, and I think this is broadly shared on this committee, pulling in the same direction is what a team does. Showing up, suiting up, getting in the fight, and pulling in the same direction is what a team with clear-eyed leadership does. And whatever that was last Friday, I hope we can get back on track in a united approach with our vital allies instead of confusing them, dividing them.
Senator, Ukraine invaded.
Mr. Landa, let me try with
Russia invaded Ukraine.
Mr. Whitaker is going to be, if confirmed, our ambassador to NATO. Mr. Whitaker, was Russia and Putin, were they the aggressors in the war on Ukraine?
Thank you, Senator. A couple of quick thoughts on this. First of all, today I'm not here to assign labels, but I would say that J.D. Vance on Friday said that Russia invaded Ukraine.
Folks, but the CIA, it literally takes hundreds of thousands of dollars to train these individuals. And if you cut off your new recruits, and these are probationary officials, you've already seen a decline of morale at the agency. It's kind of a 1-2 punch. Trump folks eliminating sharing intel with Ukraine, followed up by beginnings of a purge of younger officers. This does not make America safer.
So Trump launches this coin right before the inauguration. Why? Because he wants to make sure that his MAGA supporters, who are like wild with enthusiasm about the inauguration, would buy up a ton of the coin at the outset. It worked. Prices jumped from 18 cents to $75 a piece. And Trump's net worth on paper, it swelled to like $56 billion. And when it fell back down, the price of the coin fell back down to $17. A ton of his supporters who bought it at the top lost actual real money.
This is a situation where Elon Musk and Donald Trump are stealing from the American people, from Medicaid, from Social Security, from all of the things that actually matter, just so they can give tax breaks to billionaires and destroy our government, destroy the very entity that is responsible for making sure that people have a fair shot and, are able to have a functioning country.
What I heard was 2 hours of half-truths or outright lies. What I heard was an American president trying to pit one group of Americans against another and play into not even dog whistles anymore, but outright bigotry. I heard a president putting forth economic policies that will hurt the American people, that will raise costs of everything from gasoline to groceries, from toys to technology, and from healthcare to housing.